Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, if it's really late for you, to everyone, wherever you may be, somewhere across our lovely world. Thanks for joining us live here again for the one and only Serverless Office Hours, a special one today, streaming on AWS Twitch channel and also on the AWS Events YouTube channel. I'm Julian. I'm a developer advocate, mainly talking about serverless here at AWS. And we have a super cool live stream for you today because it's all about pre-invent what's going to be happening next week. So I have a cast of the good and the great. So in no particular order, because I don't want to say who's good and who's great, because that gets annoying. Obviously, all of them. Actually,
I'll do it.
So yeah, up on the screen, Joe, you've been on Serverless Office Hours before. For people who don't know who you are, please let us know.
Sure. Yeah, no, my name's Joe Aliotto. I am a specialist solutions architect here with a passion for serverless. And I technically cover cloud ops, which is like observability monitoring, governance and compliance, all that kind of fun stuff. And I see Ben Smith is here, which is someone I looked up to and got me really interested in serverless. Some of you guys might know him. But yeah, I've been at AWS for 3 years, and thanks for having me.
Excellent. Well, yeah, Ben, thanks for joining us. One of our ex-colleagues and teammates. I'm glad he's turning into office hours to also work out what's going on.
Yes.
Great to have you. See you next week. A beer with Ben is going to be a pleasure. Next up, Gunnar.
Hey, folks. So I'm Gunnar Grosch, developer advocate on the same team as Julian and kind of adjacent team to Eric, I guess, these days. I also have a passion for serverless, and I've had for many, many years. Excited to be here and excited for what's coming up. Just a few days.
Awesome. So Gunnar's going to be spilling all the beans a little bit later. Maybe, maybe not. And next up, we've got Chris. How are you doing, Chris?
Yeah, good. Great to see everybody. So excited to be here. Chris McPeak. I'm a specialist SA with our serverless team. I run our internal serverless community. And for those of you joining us at reInvent this year, also helped build out our serverless track. So looking forward to seeing you on all our sessions. I too, surprise, surprise, am very passionate about serverless. And what it can do. Wouldn't be on the show, wouldn't be here if that weren't the case. So glad to be here, Julian.
Excellent. Well, thanks to have you, Chris. And I mean, obviously, Chris mentioned it, but shout out, the whole serverless and containers track is managed, handled by Chris. You won't believe the amount of questions, comments, shepherding, cat herding, and everything he's done to make sure that it's going to be an awesome week next week. So yeah, kudos to Chris. You haven't seen any of it yet because you haven't seen it the week, but we've seen all Chris's hard work. So yeah, serverless at reInvent is pretty much up to Chris. So yeah, it's going to be good. And then Anton, welcome back. I think you've been on Office Hours before.
Hey, yeah,
probably our most regular face.
Did it a couple times before. So hey, I'm still Anton, still principal solutions architect for serverless, covering a bunch of new stuff all the time, right? Heavily invested in everything agentic AI this year. I mean, who didn't, right? Reporting live from Austin, Texas, and definitely looking forward to next week.
Fantastic.
You can tell by Anton's Texas accent that he's out of Austin. So yeah.
Yep.
Born and raised.
Yeah.
Keep Austin weird. That's what I hear. So.
Yeah.
And last but not least, some other dude called Eric Johnson.
Yeah, love being on the show. Thank you so much for having me, Julian. Sometimes when Julian has to run around, sometimes I host the show, but we're not the same. Julian is the master at this. I too want to say hey to Ben. Ben, we miss you, buddy. We love you. Great to see you out there. I see Higgy Park as well. Higgy, I miss you too. I mean, you're still at AWS, but I miss you. You know, you're dead to me, but there it is. Daryl, glad to see you here. Daryl's always a great attendant and has some great stuff. Super excited about this year. Man, there's some really cool things coming. Some of the stuff we get to talk about now. Some of the things I have to be quiet about. Ben, did you see my shirt? I'm pretty happy with my shirt. Ben might get a kick out of this. So yeah, that's a pretty cool
anyway,
shirt. Thanks for having me. Thanks for letting me join.
Is that Ben on your shirt?
No, it's not Ben. Does that look like it could be Ben? Yeah.
Just checking. Just checking. So yeah. So if you started and you haven't switched off yet because you're wondering what these 6 crazy people are talking about, AWS reInvent is on next week. It's our biggest, baddest show of the year. It's where literally AWS puts all the, I was going to say put the guns out. I suppose it's American, but that's probably not a good analogy for lots of people, but puts all the momentum behind is putting on a fantastic conference 1st to the 5th of December in Las Vegas. So I don't even know if there are tickets still available. Maybe there are. If you haven't signed up, it is fantastic. I don't know how many years we've all been to is this combined with everybody over here, but it's going to be a bunch. And yeah, huge amount of work going on next week. Yes, it's reInvent. It's crazy. It's big. There's lots of stuff going on. So I'm just going to quickly talk about like just some of the things going on, and then we're going to go into way more details. The keynotes are obviously a kind of thing. That's, some big announcements are going to happen. You get to hear from leaders. This is where the sort of direction for next year for AWS is sort of laid out, and some cool kind of things. So obviously the big dude on the top left is Matt Garman. He's the CEO, and so he's going to be doing it on Tuesday. Oh, too small writing, but it's 8 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. So that basically kicks off keynote-wise a reInvent. So yeah, there'll be a cast of, he normally has some guests, some interesting people coming on, probably be talking about a whole bunch of cool things with cool people. So yeah, definitely doing that one. Swami, the future of agentic AI, is on there. Silly me, I didn't actually do the time, but Swami is the sort of one of our big gurus on all ML and AI and those kind of things. So yeah, that'll be on. Then the partnership advantage with Rupa, and that is on Wednesday from 5 p.m. to 3 p.m. to 4:50.
Julian's old eyes.
I think the font is tiny. It's too tiny, but it's my old eyes. So that's the partnership advantage. And then the two that I'm sort of secretly keen on is infrastructure innovations. And so Peter DeSantis and Dave Brown, and this is actually now on Thursday morning. So Peter DeSantis has always done one previously on Monday evening. It was getting a bit late. It was always clashing with lots of other kind of things. So that's now on Thursday morning. And this is infrastructure innovation. So yes, we talk about serverless and then no servers, but boy, there are lots of servers behind the scenes, and boy, there's a lot of networking, and boy, there's a lot of cool, nerdy kind of technical detail stuff. And so that'll be Thursday morning. Definitely watch that one. And then Dr. Werner Vogels is shifting his keynote, a special closing keynote with Dr. Werner Vogels in the afternoon on Thursday, 3:30 to 4:30. So that sort of wraps up the part of AWS reInvent. There's still lots of things going on the Friday morning. But yeah, so that's on the keynote kind of side. What else have I got? Talks. Okay, so there are obviously lots of talks. That's why a lot of people come. And we've got some sort of different kind of session type. So does everybody want to grab a session type? You're welcome to jump in. Somebody first. Who wants to talk about what breakout sessions are?
I'll go. Breakout sessions are generally the biggest. I wouldn't say most important, but I'd say biggest. They'll be anywhere from 80 people to 1,800 people. They can be really big. And so this is where it's kind of a one-to-many, where we get up there and we talk to a large crowd. I love breakouts. They're a lot of fun. These are generally not repeated anymore. We don't repeat them. Chris, you can correct me, but we are doing them multicast. So they'll show them, they'll simulcast them in other rooms. So if there's a big one that you feel like you want to be in and you're not going to get in the room, because I guarantee you there are long lines for a lot of these, then look for some of the simulcast rooms, because you can go in there, eat your Taco Bell and or whatever you like, and watch it there on simulcast. So
I think what's important as well is that they are recorded and published on YouTube as well, which I think for a lot of people attending is important, because that can kind of define your strategy for what to join as well. I see a lot of people do that.
And also, there was a session planner, and Chris put together all the sessions and the times and everything, and everybody jumped on with about 4 milliseconds and booked all the sessions with Eric Johnson. And so everyone thinks that they all filled up, but that's not actually true. They only reserve seating, I think it's 75% of the session or that kind of thing, something like that. And so 25% is basically for walk-ups. So you can still pitch up. There may be a queue. If you want to join Eric Johnson, you may have to start the queue in another state. But otherwise, you can still pitch up and go. And so, yeah, that's also a great way to connect the kind of things. But as Gunnar said, some of the secret sources, they are going to be on YouTube. And so you can watch them afterwards. But it's also great to be there, because what you learn in that session, you can then go and ask questions in some other kind of sessions.
Historically, a lot of people who have registered don't actually show up as well. So there's always a good chance of just walking up to a session.
Yeah, definitely. So randomly, why don't I just ask Joe to talk about workshops?
Yeah, I can do that. So let's just start with they're not
spin the wheel and
right. Yeah, why not? Right. So Workshops are not recorded. Workshops are bring your laptop and get ready to do some work. They're hands-on building sessions. They're usually about 2 hours. They can have up to 140 plus people in a room, depending on the size of the workshop. And they can have multiple runs. There can be repeats, potentially up to 3. But not every workshop has a repeat. You'll know when you look at the session and you see there's like an R in the catalog, it says repeat. But these are hands-on sessions where you have experts with you, walking you through specific content, everything from like agentic AI, building workflows with that, anything you can kind of think of in the cloud, there's basically a workshop for it. And so if you come to those, bring your laptop, preferably do not bring a tablet. An iPad, it might work, but it's not designed for it. It can have some issues. So bring your laptop, be prepared to learn something new, get some hands-on, and it's free for you, right? We spin up the accounts on our side. They get torn down afterwards, but you could just get to build and be there and ask all the questions you want to the experts that are staffed in the room. That's about it.
Excellent. And I will say, I basically learned AWS by doing workshops and starting at reInvent. It's a time, I think they're 2 hours this year. You literally get to sit down and build something. A lot of work goes into preparing them. It's hands on a keyboard. You build your own little app. You get it done as you were doing it. So, the sessions are great, but you're receiving the workshops, you're actually building, and you actually create something by the end of it. So it's a really, for me, that's, sort of visual, maybe tactile person. That's one of the best ways I've found to learn. So yeah. And that's also
I have one thing I want to add, Julian,
Please.
actually thinking on that. And this is kind of a call out to all you guys. My favorite workshop at AWS is the Serverless Espresso workshop. Because not only are you building something that is that's event driven, right? It uses choreography and orchestration, and you end with a functional app that you can use your phone to actually scan, order it, and see the whole thing go. I love it. It's like a 400 level workshop. If you haven't done it, come check out Serverless Espresso, get a coffee, come take the workshop, get some hands-on. I guarantee you'll walk away learning something new.
Yeah, that right there is the magic of Ben Smith. That's who built that one, and he did a great job. Thank you, Ben. We appreciate you.
We're still using it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think we fixed Ben's bugs and rejigged some of the stuff that was janky.
And now Ben Friedberg took over, Ben 2.0.
That's funny.
Yeah, exactly. So spin the wheel. We'll have Eric Johnson Chalk Talks.
Chalk Talks, yes. So Chalk Talks are probably one of my favorites. I love breakouts, obviously, too. But Chalk Talks, in fact, Chris and I are doing a Chalk Talk together this year called Thinking Serverless. How do you think serverlessly? How does that change that? But the idea of a Chalk Talk is it's very interactive. You'll see at most maybe 10 or 15 slides, or in course of Julian's, 150 to 200 slides for a Chalk Talk. And then, but no, in all honesty, very few slides. And then we talk, right? We work with the audience. Okay, what are you building? How can we go through that? And then we get to architect right there on the whiteboard, interacting with the audience. And they're a lot of fun. They're not recorded. We keep them very loose and casual for a reason. And so, there's experts in the room like Chris, and then I'll be there to, tell jokes. And
Eric's the entertainer.
Yeah, I'm the entertainer. So, but you get to ask the questions that maybe you don't have people available to ask those. So I really encourage you, if you've never done a Chalk Talk, check it out.
Yeah, not recorded, then you get
I would add that, like, for me personally, if there was one reason to name just one to go to reInvent, that's Chalk Talks, right? Breakouts are amazing. You can find them on YouTube, a week later. Workshops are amazing for hands-on, right? But, they're also available online. Chalk Talk is pure gold, right? Yeah. This is the format where, a little bit of insider information. You have no idea how much effort we're investing internally to prepare the content, right? We're doing tons of, dry runs and feedback sessions. We want to make sure that content is, ready for reInvent, right? And the quality level is high. Chalk Talks, they are by far the hardest to prepare to. And our internal goal is to minimize the number of slides, right? And make sure that for, at least 45 minutes out of 60, you're managing a conversation with the audience, and be prepared for whatever they're going to ask you, right? So Chalk Talks are the most unpredictable, the hardest to prepare for, but also by far the funnest, because it's literally, hey, bring your questions, bring it on. let's discuss your stuff, not what we want to tell you, but what you want to talk about, right? So I highly recommend you join Chalk Talks as much as possible, right? Because it's literally, the discussion with a lot of AWS experts, right? And you're getting all the latest and greatest information based on what we learned from the field. So
Yeah.
big fan of Chalk Talks here.
Yeah, I'll also say that like so many of you actually gave us feedback, positive feedback on Chalk Talks, that this year we increased the number of Chalk Talks on our track by a significant amount. So there's a huge number of Chalk Talks this year that you can jump on for serverless.
Cool, excellent. And just joining us is Rohan. Hello, Rohan, who's been patiently waiting backstage. Rohan, properly fire in the deep end. Welcome to Serverless Office Hours. Tell people who you are.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a few years since I've been on, but happy to be back. I'm a serverless specialist SA, also on the same team as Chris over here, helping figure out how we bring the magic and wonderful features of serverless to all our AWS customers and soon-to-be customers as well. And I'm going to be seeing a lot of them next week at re:Invent, so pretty excited about that.
Cool, excellent. Well, thanks for joining us. We're doing a bit around the table of the different kind of session types. Chris, do you want to handle builder sessions?
Yes, builder sessions are also one of my favorite sessions. Not too far unlike workshops. These are an opportunity to get some hands-on time, follow a workshop-like environment, but they're a little bit different because you're in a smaller room, about 50 people at the most, and every 10 people are at a table with somebody from AWS that are going through the workshops with you. So it's a really good chance to learn, get some good hands-on time, work with one of our specialists on that builder session. They're also only an hour, so they're a little bit faster, little shorter time than our workshops, which are 2 hours. And again, just like our Chalk Talks, got a lot of really good feedback in past years on builder sessions. Really excited that we actually have a lot of builder sessions on our track this year. So hopefully you can find one to jump into.
Yeah, I think of them as like express workshops. Like I'm in, I do something for an hour, I'm out, I can jump and grab another session. I can kind of optimize my schedule around some of those because you're kind of in and out, but you get a lot of value in that 1 hour.
And you're not alone, right? At any point in time, you have a bunch of us, right, on our peers in the room. At any point in time, raise your hand, ask a question. We're going to help you. We're going to explain you how something works. So a lot of very guided hands-on experience. Yeah. And some of those sessions as well have like product team, service team members, like leaders of like EventBridge and like step functions, people like that, like Dan Ronald, right? So it's not just the specialists. Sometimes the product teams, the people that actually build and maintain the service, help to support those as well.
Yeah, I'd actually say that's builder sessions is actually where many of our PMs like to jump in and help out, just because they get a good chance to interact with you all in the room a lot better than maybe some of the other sessions. So check out some of those sessions. Maybe you'll get a chance to meet up with a PM and learn more about the service.
Cool, excellent. Rohan, I like dumping people on the spot. So Code Talks, can you tell us about Code Talks? If that's you can punt if you're just in the fire too quickly, but I reckon we're going for it.
Code Talks, that's great. Let's see, what is a Code Talk? I'd love for Joe to tell me.
Sure, I love Code Talks. I've delivered a few. So Code Talks are great. Code Talks are great. So think of Chalk Talk in a way, but instead you have someone actually trying to live code and hoping they don't fat finger a few terms. So like what it is, a little brief presentation usually that's just like, hey, this is an intro of what we're doing. Like we're building an AI agent today that's going to do this using strands on Bedrock Agent Core. But what they're actually going to do, it's usually two people, is they're going to switch over after about like 5 or 10 minutes and start actually building everything like in front of you, live coding. Ooh, that's scary. I can say that, it's a great experience because it's not just them live coding, but it also is a chance to ask your questions. It's a code talk. It's not like a code present. It's meant to be interactive. They will show you something being built, but also you have opportunities to interact and ask questions about what they're building. But the end goal of that is really, you've seen a solution kind of built end to end for what you're coming into within that hour from experts. And you get to kind of ask some questions about it and potentially, talk more to them after the session.
I love the Code Talks. I think those are my favorite session types these days. And we've added a lot more this year at Reinvent as well. So all tracks have a lot more of the code talks. I'm actually doing one with our friend Sridhar this year, Dev 309, where we are going to attempt to live code a serverless application with a bit of help of Kiro CLI.
Well,
might be
perfect.
A lot of
so thanks, Gunnar, for mentioning it. I was going to go to do a round kind of thing, and I just want to mention we are live here as well. So send us your questions and your comments. There was a question from somebody who Jerry Drum. Thanks for joining us via YouTube. Will you guys be showing the serverless MCP service in Q/Kiro? Ta-da! Gunnar will be doing that, and that's with Sridhar Pandey, and he's also one of our top Lambda product managers as well. And Sridhar's remit is developer experience. So you've got the awesome developer Gunnar with the developer experience product manager showing that kind as well. So yeah, that's what we're going to help with. Before we actually do go on to, well, there we go. AJ Stuyvesant, and I was going to talk about there. Sridhar's newly promoted, so he's awesome. But yeah, we are live as well. So AJ is also doing a talk. He's one of our, absolute guru heroes. AJ, we can't hear you, obviously, but want to hear about Rust at AWS and at Datadog or Dev 307 on Thursday at 2:30 p.m. He personally guarantees it will be fun. So that means that must be so good. So, yeah, thanks, AJ.
We have some other speakers in our audience, so throw your sessions in there. Yeah, Higgy.
Yeah, and AJ is saying the A team looks pumped for reInvent. I think we'll be pumped next week when we get there. We're just going to. I feel sorry for the our American colleagues who have to do Thanksgiving and don't have to be too thankful that they're flying to Las Vegas on the Sunday of their Thanksgiving weekend. But anyway,
I'm driving.
Walking off all the turkey.
Yeah, there you go.
So, Julian, can I add another session type?
Please do. I was going to get back to you. Yes.
Yes. So I would want to add the game days to this as well. That's one super exciting way of getting to get exposure to AWS, where you, instead of a workshop or a builder session where you basically follow step by step, game days instead throws you into a scenario where it's then up to you to try to solve it. And you can kind of compete in teams. It's all about getting points, trying to solve these quests or tasks, and then in the end, hopefully you'll completed something. And there isn't one way of solving it. It's up to you to find a way to solve those challenges. And I think that's super exciting. It's a great way to just get exposure to something that's actually running, probably not working, but in the end, you might get it to work.
Cool, fantastic, good, perfect. So just a quick recap: you got breakout sessions, workshops, talks, builder sessions, code talks, game days, and those are just the section types. We're going to be getting on to some of the other kind of things coming on as well. So yeah, if anybody
live update the slide, or
of course,
that's awesome. Okay, I got one more for you. Lightning talks.
Oh yes.
So Lightning Talks is another session type. These are kind of like breakout sessions, but they're 20 minutes long. So they're super fast. They typically end up in the expo hall. We got a couple of folks, like one of our PMs will be doing a lightning talk on everything that's new in serverless. And you can imagine how fast that's going to go in 20 minutes. So really good opportunity to jump in and hear things in short order.
Bam.
Okay, the fonts are getting smaller. Any other sessions I've forgotten?
and when
we'll work it out.
Hallway tracks.
Tracks. We'll get onto the hallway tracks as well. So we are going to do a round of everyone doing the talks, but we do have Higgy Park, who is absolute guru of serverless and has now extended his serverless remit into all Gen AI things. So build, deploy, operate agentic architectures with Higgy, basically kicking off reInvented Monday at 9 a.m. I've done a 9 a.m. session before. It's cool to see everyone fired up and going for reInvent. So yeah, Higgy Park, look at that scene. There's 359. And then Higgy is also, expert on security. So security best practices with servers on Tuesday.
With Chris McPeak.
With who's that? Oh, Chris.
The one and only. Who is that?
Yeah, we're going to have some fun with that one. Security can actually be fun. We're going to have a good time in that session.
I'm going to have to come to see that.
Yeah.
Cool. And Higgy is talking about their CNS 45, so level 400. So Yeah, quick thing. You've got 100, 200, 300, 400, and 500 level sessions at reInvent this year, going in order of complexity. So the 500 level sessions is where you've basically got to turn your brain on. You're going to have some of our principal engineers, some of our absolute gurus talking stuff that's probably way over my head at least. But it's awesome that we're going to have it there as well. So yeah, CNS 425, Monday 5:30, a repeat of Anton's Chalk Talk. So Anton, why don't you tell us what you're doing at reInvent, and we'll get... and we'll just go around the houses and let us know what you're up to.
Where do I start? So yeah, this year got to.
You start off by you walking off Turkey, and then next.
Walking off Turkey. I'm getting there on Sunday afternoon, right? Because my first session is Monday 10 a.m. So I got 2 chalk talks and 2 breakouts this year, right? And I'm extremely excited for all 4 of them, right? So the chalk talks are going to be about building AI agents using serverless technologies, right? This is kind of an extension, right? Evolved version of a chalk talk. Me and Higgy and Debasis, you others, been doing, throughout the second half of this year. We did it in various summits, right? And it was always received extremely well because we're sharing basically the latest practices. So how to build AI agents, right? Agentic applications using serverless technologies, right? So I'm doing that on Monday, one of the days, right? And Higgy is doing a repeat of that, right? On Monday afternoon, 5:30, right? I definitely recommend you join the session because it's going to be packed with architectures, sample code, and discussions of what actually an agent is, right? And how do you build one, right? What makes an application, right, an agent, right? Another one is a chalk talk talking about Kafka optimizations, right? Consuming Kafka topics by using serverless is a great optimization technique for performance, efficiency, etc. If you haven't been following, we launched a lot of improvements in the last week or so. Kafka, well, SQS as well. The hardest part of our job at this point, like 4 days before the conference, is knowing what we know and not kind of spilling the beans, right? Because trust me, there is more coming, right? So we already launched a lot and there is even more coming, right? So yeah, you'll see a lot of new additions to Kafka in SM world as well. And as it comes for breakouts, I'm going to be co-presenting with one of the big customers I work with, CyberArk. They've implemented, we work together, right? I'm a solution architect. I work with customers. We work together to implement serverless platform engineering practices in their organization, which allow them to reduce like onboarding time for new services by 99. That's not a typo or mistake, 99%, right? From 5 months to 3 weeks. So we'll be telling a story to 3 hours, 3 hours, 5 months to 3 hours, right? So we'll be telling a story, how they achieve that and how everyone can adopt that, because it's all out there. Just grab it and do it. And the last one is the launch that we did last week, right? So if you've been, if we've ever worked together, you know that I'm extremely passionate about SaaS application and multi-tenancy, right? So we launched Lambda native application tenant isolation capability last week. Basically, now Lambda knows how to isolate its compute execution environments based on your tenants, right? So your tenants never ever share an execution environment, right? I might be wrong, but based on what I know, it's unprecedented capability. I'm not aware of any other compute service that does that, right? With the EC2 world, you have to provision different instances per tenant. Containers, different task or container per tenant, right? With Lambda, one function, each tenant gets their own execution environment, right? It's amazing capability, super simple to use. So I have a session on Thursday afternoon, right? It was revealed in catalog just recently, right? So we still have some, not a lot, but still some availability. So if you're interested, definitely register for reserved seat, and we'll be diving deep into this capability. And the product manager for this feature is going to be there. So if you want to ask questions or provide suggestions, you're more than welcome.
Awesome. Thanks, Anton. That raises up a good point of the session catalog is not fixed. It's not set in stone. There are even new things that I know and some of us know that are coming out, and they're going to pop up on the session catalog. So yeah, keep them peeled. There are new sessions that are becoming, and some releases that literally happened, the past few days. or the past week or so, there are sessions that have already come up. So yeah, somehow keep going. Sorry, Chris, I rudely spoke over you.
I was going to say, Anton, what was your session number, session ID, in case folks want to get to that tenantization session?
CNS. So the tenant isolation one is CNS 381, and the platform engineering 361. 361. And you can search by Anton. I'm the only Anton that deals with serverless. I'm like, it's super easy to find me. Anton Serverless, you'll find me immediately, right? So all the sessions are in the catalog.
And make sure that you buy Anton coffee if you see him. He's going to need it next week.
I'm a tea guy. I am a tea guy.
Get Anton caffeine tea.
For 3 years, I'm pushing for serverless espresso to support the tea use case. I'm getting there. I'm gradually getting there.
3 years, we said no.
The name doesn't work.
Yeah.
I know.
Serverless tea doesn't have the same ring.
Yeah.
I'm a tea person too. I don't know how many times I've done serverless espresso, and I've learned more about coffee than I ever thought I'd needed to. So, I don't have it either. So, Anton, do you want to just finish with your other 74 talks, and then we'll just go around the house, or?
No, that's it. Yeah, I'm not doing much this year.
Nonchalant. Yeah. Excellent. Spin the wheel. Gunnar, you mentioned one of your talks. What else you got going on?
Yeah, no, so I mentioned the Dev 309, where Sridhar and I will be building, in a code talk, we will be building a serverless full stack application. And what we want to do in that session is kind of show how we can make use of Kiro CLI as a tool to help us do a lot of the cool stuff we can do with serverless. So it's going to be a mix of using traditional things that you've seen a long time, but then combined with these newer features and a lot of the new developer experience features that Sridhar and the team has pushed out as well. And we have a repeat for that. The first one is Monday, 9 a.m. We're calling it a keynote since it's the first session of the day. I think that's fair. And then we have another repeat, I think, on Tuesday, if I remember correctly. So that's one. The other one is a breakout together with one of our serverless heroes, Alan Henton, who works for Momento. And we have a session called Dev 415, where we are going to talk about building scalable and self-orchestrating AI workflows with the help of A2A protocol and MCP protocol. So that's a breakout session. So we're going to walk you through how you can build those types of applications. And hopefully you'll get to see a fun demo as well throughout the session. And that's also Monday, I believe around 1 p.m., if I remember correctly.
Excellent. Thanks, Gunnar.
Yeah.
Is that it? Any others that you've got on?
Sorry?
Any others, or that's your list?
Well, that's my list.
No, that's cool.
You don't have to make me feel bad, Julian.
Not at all. I didn't mean to at all. I'm just, there's lots going on. From the chat, we've got Dan Fox. Dan Fox is also a super guru as well. He's been involved in serverless as one of our technical field community, and now he looks after solutions architects all over the globe. And he's going to be doing a talk managing Lambda runtime upgrades at scale. And this is with the Lambda PM, Jonathan Giuliani. Work with him a lot. And as you know, Lambda comes up with new runtimes. We have come out with Python 3.14, Java 25. I'm not sure if it's quite announced, but I can say it now that Node 24 is literally... maybe it's out by now. It's literally happening today. And so, this is managing Lambda runtime upgrades. Dan is going to be super awesome. Jonathan's going to be super awesome. And he's the PM who literally manages all the Lambda runtimes. So you can manage how busy he is and a cool job that is. If anybody else has joined, and there are lots of messages in the chat. I love everybody chatting to everybody. Oh, Jerry with the serverless tea espresso. I think your serverless steeped is a good one. Serverless tea espresso, Aaron Hunter. Yeah, we can do some training.
No, Aaron, and I've already scolded Aaron. So yeah,
exactly.
So Aaron is on our team. He'll be speaking as well.
Definitely. So yeah, Aaron, tell us your session. So yeah, Gunnar in the chat on YouTube is sending up his info. Next up, Chris, I know you had mentioned one, but what else you got going on at reInvent? Or you can repeat what you got.
Actually, so I hooked my wagon to some really cool people this week, Julian. So Eric is one of them. Eric and I are doing that talk on thinking serverless. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then the other one is the one with Higgy on securing serverless applications. That's a breakout. We're going to have a fun time. And yes, Dan tries to manage me at scale. We'll see what that session is going to be look like next week. So hope everybody enjoys it.
Cool.
Man,
Excellent.
I wish we could. I really wish we could.
Jerry, it's actually quite simple. I can in fact spill all the beans. Now, everybody, don't freak out. We're going to talk more about availability. We're going to talk about stuff being more managed, and we're going to talk about stuff being more durable. That's basically the whole stuff of serverless. And so, yeah, more available, probably performance things as well. All of those things in the mix. So there's all spill the beans. And
I would definitely bring a pair of extra socks just in case, right?
Well, you need the straps. Remember how you used to have to wear the straps for your socks? You should wear those. Keep them on, okay?
This has gone down a weird path. Anyway. Rohan, what are you talking about at reInvent this year? We're involved in.
Yeah, so I have a few sessions, and it kind of matches with what Gunnar was talking about previously, where I also have a session with Mr. Sridhar Pandey, and so we have a builder session actually. So I think that the code talk was mentioned, and in our session, as people know, builder sessions allow our participants to get a chance to actually build hands-on and learn about the features that we've released this year. So we have a builder session that's going to talk about the Lambda developer experience and all the great work that Sridhar and team have been putting in this year. So there's going to be remote debugging in it. People will get a chance to work with local stack to emulate AWS services and test their application against those emulated services. So that's pretty cool. Pretty excited about that. We've been hard at work building out that builder session over the past few months. So that's one. I have another builder session that's covering handling scaling with Lambda. So, as you know, there's a certain number of concurrent executions you can have with Lambda, and needing to manage all those concurrent executions and requests coming in require a lot of work as far as, figuring out the right power tuning you need to apply to your Lambda functions. So that's going to be a builder session that we have to teach people about how to use the Lambda power tuner and other configuration settings that they can apply for their Lambda functions. And finally, I also have a chalk talk for hand testing serverless applications. So, all the usual guidance that we've had in the past few years with this chalk talk, if anyone's attended or, seen our resources on serverless.com, along with, some additional GenAI type of guidance that we have we've uncovered over this past year. So 3 sessions, going to be a busy week, have a few customer meetings as well, but looking forward to them all.
Awesome. Eric, I'm sure you're speaking at reInvent this year, aren't you?
I am. I have a few sessions. I am starting out with, on Sunday, if you haven't heard of this, I'm doing the Road to reInvent, which is a hackathon from LA to Las Vegas. That'll be streaming on Twitch and I believe YouTube. So you'll want to watch that. It's a live stream. It's a lot of fun. There's 50 developers, 10 teams of 5 big buses, lots of Diet Dr. Pepper. It's going to be crazy. So keep an eye out for that. So we're driving from like I said, LA to Las Vegas. So that's the first thing. And then starting on Monday, I have, let's see what I've got going here. So first of all, I have CNS 307, building event-driven architectures with Amazon ECS and AWS Fargate with the one and only Matt Mekis. So I'm really excited about that. About 2 hours later, I have CNS 337 with Chris McPeak, which is thinking serverless. It's a great intro, kind of 300 level, 2 to 300 level on how do you think serverless. And then I'll have to answer questions in a minute. On Tuesday, we then go to CNS 337 thinking serverless. That's a repeat. That's 12:30, or actually 11:30. I think time zone changes. And then on Wednesday, in the morning, I have a session that I can't talk about. So that's all I said. You didn't hear that from here, but you'll want to keep around, I believe it's 11:30, 10:30, 11:30. You want to keep that open, I promise you. And then at later that afternoon, I have building production grade workflow patterns with AWS step functions, API 313. If you dig step functions and you want to save some money with them and you want to do them efficiently, I have a lot of cool tips and tricks. So that's me.
Awesome. Mr. Joe, what do you got going on?
I've got a few things. Let me get my notes. Talking about step functions, I will be hoping to present and co-lead the AWS step functions, which is running twice. Workshop, AWS step function workshop. It's on Tuesday at 3 to 5 p.m. and also on Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. And that's API 310. I also have CNS 369, which is serverless observability best practices for AWS distributed app systems. And so we're going to be talking about how you can manage your distributed systems and observe them well, some best practices there. And that's a chalk talk. So that's meant to be interactive and kind of going back and forth. And what we've seen is best practices there. And then I have two non-serverless things that are part of my cloud ops stuff, which is I'm doing a 400 level chalk talk on deep dive into advanced database performance monitoring, where we'll kind of really dive deep on what you can do in some common situations around like execution plans and locking. And then I have a lightning talk for troubleshooting database performance at scale as well. And then you can also catch me in the expo on Thursday from like 2 to 6. I'll be at the AI Ops expo hall in the AWS Village, which is a cool place you can go in the center of the expo that has like all these different areas of like what domain, what topic do you want to talk about? We have expert staff there. As long as the expo is open, come up, talk to us. Like I'll be covering AI ops, and that's like AI operations and how you use AI to like resolve issues or track things, anything to do with operations, just very high level. And then also on the observability side and customer meetings and all that fun stuff. So yeah.
So enough going on. That sounds awesome. My talks, I think I'm last. Has anyone put anything else in the chat? No, I think we're good with that. So yeah, my talks, I've got two 400 talks. I've got a best practices for serverless developers, which I've done over a number of years. And the easy option would have just been roll it forward and add and change a few slides. No, I thought I'd be silly and I'd completely change it up. So yeah, completely different presentation this year. So no reason not to join it if you do want to. I've got to now remember which one is which. I think it's on Tuesday afternoon, 12 till 1 or something like that, at Mandalay Bay as well. So yeah, actually, quick sidebar. There's a huge amount of developer stuff going on at Mandalay Bay. I will find a link with that as well. But yeah, there's crazy fun stuff going on. We're going to get time to talk about that as well. But yeah, it's worth the trek over to Mandalay Bay, even if you don't have a session to get involved with that. So that's best practices for serverless developers. CNS 403, that's what that is. And then also I have from trigger to execution, the journey of events in AWS Lambda, CNS 423. And I'm doing this with a principal engineer from Lambda, and we're going to head down the rabbit hole and we're going to talk about all the internal gubbins of Lambda. If you want a sneak peek at my deck, that's it as well. Haha.
I got that. That was good.
That was a sneak.
I think we need to do another dry run, Julian. Come on.
Yeah. I knew you were going to spot
That's
slide
just the intro, man.
470. Yeah. So I'm doing it with a principal engineer, Rajesh Kumapande. He's the absolute guru on the event source mapping. So we're going to be diving deep into the polars. And it's not just going to be how Lambda works, but it's going to be why we made the decisions and the big lessons that AWS did for that as well. Yeah, Anton correctly says 24 slides a second. We are trying to improve on that this year. So yeah, we'll just have to come along and see. So that is going to be, thanks Higgy, that is going to be on Wednesday morning at 8:30. So yeah, bright and early again at Mandalay Bay. Okay, we are talking fun and it is awesome. I want to have a quick look at some of the announcements we're going. I want to try and do this in 5 minutes because there's a whole bunch of fun stuff we're going to do. So there are a few API gateway ones. Anton, do you want to just cover? I think there are 3 API gateway releases that have come out recently.
Yeah, gladly. API gateway has been killing it. Right. So first of all, one that I've kind of personally worked on, the response streaming. Right. So as someone who's been running a lot of various LLM, GenAI agentic scenarios this year, the fact that I can now gradually stream response through API gateway made me extremely happy, right? So I don't need to wait until response is completely computed on the backend, right? The moment backend starts streaming the data back, I can return it to the client through API gateway, right? This is an amazing capability, right? And for those who are maybe not so much into GenAI yet, because trust me, it'll be there, right? You can also use it to exceed API gateways, 29 seconds timeout that we had for ages. Right now, you can have timeouts up to 15 minutes, right? And there's no limit on how much data you can stream through that streaming connection, right? So you can stream a chunk of data and the next chunk 2 minutes later, or you can continuously stream data throughout the 15 minutes time period, right? So that's amazing.
So cool.
Right. Developer portal. I mean, this is amazing. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly encourage you to just open API gateway and see the new developer portal capabilities. Now you can build your APIs just like before, but you can also make them easily accessible to your API consumers, right? So we provide a managed version of developer portal, right, built into API gateway. Something I've been waiting, for some time is TLS security policies. So now you can have a fine-grained control over which TLS ciphers and suites you want to use, enable, disable, per default API endpoint, or also on a custom domain level, right? So if this is super useful if you're in more of a regulated industry, right? Financial services, right? Somewhere that you explicitly want to block an older TLS cipher, right? This is an amazing capability. Now you can easily do it, right? It's basically applying a specific policy. Did I forget anything?
Awesome, Anton.
APIs.
Let me bring that. I'll bring that up. I did have the wrong screen. Are we done all API kind of things? What have we got? Private integration with ALB. Did we cover that?
Oh my God!
That's the big one.
That's the huge one, right? So previously, if you wanted your API gateway to talk to an ALB, you had to put NLB in the middle, right? So there were no direct connectivity from REST API to ALB. Now you don't need to do that trick anymore, right? Connect your REST API to ALB directly, right? Easy, simple. Your architectures are significantly less complex, right? And also, let's be honest, it's also cheaper, right? You don't need to have that additional component in between, so you don't need to pay for it, right? So if you're using API gateway to talk to ALB, let's say you have a Kubernetes cluster behind that ALB, or maybe you're using Fargate, right? Now you can go directly from REST API to ALB, right? That's a huge improvement for your architectures, making it simpler and cheaper.
Cool. Excellent. Thank you, Anton. Tenant isolation mode, we did speak about that as well. The actual cool thing I like about that is some people are like, oh, we've got a few tenants. We've got customers who have thousands, tens of thousands of customers, or have to manage, I think even up to hundreds of thousands, I don't know, big numbers of Lambda functions just to have that secure isolation for separate tenants. And now they can run one or maybe 10. So yeah, that's a big quality of life. Even if you don't think you need multi-tenancy for the tenant isolation mode, that's going to be some cool
I can take it to extreme, right? I'll give you a very extreme example. I worked with a customer, amazing customer, right? They had about 24 unique functions, but because they required that strong level of isolation, they had close to 1 million, let me repeat that, 1 million unique Lambda functions, because it was essentially the same function replicated by the number of tenants, right? They've estimated that it would be significantly easier to do it with Lambda than having 1 million of EC2 instances or 1 million of container instances, right? With Lambda, you don't have that infrastructure overhead management, right? But now imagine how much they can reduce that number, right? So this is a huge improvement.
Awesome. So yeah, on runtimes, Python 3.14 we mentioned. Rust is another one that's come out. This is basically you use Rust in the provided runtime. So it's an OS only runtime because Rust, just like Go, you package it as a binary. There's no point having a managed runtime for Rust because we couldn't update it anyway. And we've made that actually generally available. So the Cargo Lambda code that you import is now fully supported by AWS. Java 25 is coming out as well. So that is going to be super cool. And then, yeah, the serverless MCP server has now event source mapping tools. So you want to do Kafka, you want to do SQS, you want to do document DB. It's not just about the configuration, it's best practices, it's information. Just, in your LLM, just ask questions of what would be the best practices, thinking about batching, thinking about filtering, thinking about timeouts, starting positions, all those kind of things that you may wonder. Of course, you can go through the documentation that is going to be over there. We've got enhanced error handling capabilities for Kafka event processing. This also means that you can send things to destinations, including another Kafka topic, including to S3. So you can actually send a whole record to S3. I'm going through these quickly because I want to get to the fun stuff as well. Not to say these aren't fun, but you know what I mean. MSK console. So if you're using MSK and manage streaming for Kafka within the console, you can now create a Lambda trigger directly over there. And then, provision mode. No, this isn't the provision mode. Interestingly, there we go. There's sort of three things mixed in over here. I'm getting a bit mixed up. SQS payload size is now 1 meg. SQS payload size is up to 1 meg. This is for all asynchronous invocations as well. We are going to be rolling this out to many services over the next month. So yeah, the old 256 will slowly be going away. 1 meg. The other one is we actually have introduced SQS provision mode. So this is a way where you can pre-provision polars for fast scale, high throughput SQS. And that's a sort of, and then for Kafka as well, you're going to be able to actually share your provision mode resources to be able to do it for lots of different Kafka ESMs, even saving money. So that's the 90% for going there as well. Okay, quickly, we want to get on to a few minutes of the other kind of cool stuff. The Expo is going to be around. That's going to be absolutely huge. So the Expo is, from Monday through to Thursday, thousands of companies, lots of us with people who are going to be there. There's a massive developer zone. This is in the Venetian. There's also, I mentioned the developer zone that is also going to be in the Mandalay Bay. Outside Caesars Forum, there's going to be all of Sunday afternoon. There's going to be the Road to Reinvent. Buses arriving, as Eric mentioned, and we're going to have, it's not for the old people who appreciate it. It's no longer midnight madness. It's midday madness. Things are getting a little bit more genteel. But yeah, that's going to be fun. There's going to be the chicken wing eating competition. That is back. It was there last year as well. I went to reInvent one year before I was even an employee and landed up, long story, involved in the chicken wing eating competition just because it was the short queue to get into the expo, and I landed up doing that. My kids didn't care that I went to reInvent, but they cared that I got a Guinness World Record for eating chicken wings. So, who knows what you're going to get involved in with reInvent. What other fun stuff? I don't even know what the next slide is. Also have fun. There's lots of having fun kind of things that are going on at reInvent. There is the replay party. Sports forum, first of all. So this is outside Caesars Forum. So that's what's happening on the Sunday afternoon where it all kicks off and during the week. So that is the sports forum. Cool stuff going on over there. I'm not going to read that all through as well. A whole bunch of community events that are happening. If this sounds unprepared, it's because you can simply go to reinvent.awsevents.com and browse around all the cool kind of things. Lots of community things, ways to build up connections, connect with other kind of people, learning together. And the other one is replay. So this is the big party, talking about what's going on at reInvent Thursday, 7:30 to midnight at the festival grounds, which is a wander down the road, or a bus as well. Something for everybody. There is going to be music. I think we've announced that Beck is headlining, and there's apparently some other super secret thing that I'm obviously, because I'm going to blab my mouth, don't even know what's going on. So lots of things going on. I want to give just a few minutes if everyone want to go run some tips or tricks for reInvent, something surprising you think people should do. And let's go to Eric first. He's got the good ideas.
Man, I'd say comfortable shoes, aspirin, and a battery charger. And water.
Nice ones. Rohan, what are your good tips and tricks for reInvent?
I'd say try to get off strip and eat some good food. There's a lot of good food options in Las Vegas.
Any suggestions?
I will put some in the chat. I'll put it on my LinkedIn. I got to look through it myself. I've been busy, heads down on reInvent prep work. So,
Fantastic. Anton? besides walking off turkey?
Make the best use of your time, right? So many sessions will have QR codes where you can actually get all the materials, right? Take notes, attend hands-on sessions, right? Try to kind of optimize the information you're taking from these sessions. And keep in mind, right, all the breakouts, you can always rewatch them on YouTube a week later with a fast forward. So definitely make sure you're leveraging the content you're getting next week to the fullest.
Awesome. Sounds excellent. Chris?
Yeah, a couple tips. I would say find a venue and stick with it for the day. Try and hit a bunch of sessions in the same venue. That way you can maximize your time. I loved your saying chapstick. I was going to say water, chapstick, and sneakers are your big three that you need to make sure you have with you.
And sneakers that you've worn in, not ones that you're buying on the first day.
Not new sneakers.
Right. Yeah, no new sneakers.
Yeah. Gunnar?
So I want to plug the community aspect of it. So you mentioned it a bit, but make sure to meet up with people from the AWS community. We have a lot of community speakers in the dev track this year, both heroes speaking in breakouts. We have a full lightning talk schedule that takes place as well from the dev track, and then also take part in all the cool stuff that's happening in the developer lounge, or whatever the name is this year. I should probably know that.
Oh, yeah,
that's a good way to get connected with other like-minded people.
Definitely, and that's the developer lounge. Gunnar's talking. There is some other word for it this year, but it is a combination of a whole bunch of developer-focused things that are all put in close proximity together to make that easier. Joe, I don't think
Pavilion, developer pavilion.
Last but not least, all right, let's see what's left. Enjoy the expo. Go have some conversations with the customers, the booths, the partners that you're interested in their products. You want to learn what they're doing, and most importantly, for a lot of people, get that swag. Someone mentioned extra socks. You don't need socks. You can pick them up on the expo floor. I promise there will be plenty of socks. But yeah, Ed, I think last but not least,
I heard it.
I said swags?
You said swags.
Hey, I mean, it's what you're walking in.
Just recovering from that.
Swag. That's why. But yeah, most of all, have fun, enjoy your time. It can be stressful going place to place. Remember, you're there to learn and to have a good time, and make the most of it. So that's all I got.
Yeah. Eric talks about Serverless Espresso. That is also, it's not just about getting your coffee. It's actually a cool hanging out place for people. Are they going to be, I think they're two again this year, Eric, in the certification lounge and in the
certification lounge and the expo hall. Yep.
Cool. Yep. Excellent. AJ, as helpful as usual, come ride the Datadog slide. You got to do that. That's right at the entrance. That is super cool. I like that as well. Jerry Drum says network and make friends. That's absolutely it. That's what it's actually all about. So you can watch videos, you can read blogs, you can do kind of things, but meeting up with people in the lunchroom. There's free breakfasts, free lunches, or whatever. Just go and sit next to someone and have a chat. My top tips are I had them in my brain and then they went straight in my mind. Get outside. Just go and have it. You'll be surprising. I love actually walking between the venues. It's a bit. reInvent is absolute chaos, no question about it. Even walking between the different sessions, there's actually a back route that you can go from MGM all the way along the road to the Venetian. Just get outside. There's some fresh air. It's going to be super dry, but at least get outside and do that kind of thing. 100% speak to people, enjoy your time. Come up to anyone from AWS and come and ask questions. Come and find us. We'll be around. We're actually there to also chat to you. We've spent a lot of time preparing for this. It's our greatest pleasure to help put on reInvent and come and connect with everybody. So yeah, that's it. Everybody, well, I'll see all of you next week, and hopefully as many of you people listening as well. We'd love to sync up. If you're watching remotely, keynotes, breakout sessions are going to be posted, lots of things going on, so connect with us via the socials. And yeah, well, we need to finish this because I have a video still to record, and I've got Chris just told me my deck needs redoing, so I've got a lot of work to do. So yeah, busy day. Enjoy Thanksgiving. Oh no, raise the bar. Yes, so everybody, see you next week, and thanks so much for joining us here for Office Hours.
Thank you.
Have everybody. I appreciate you.
Bye, all. See you there.
See you then.